Hey guys, it's Melanie. So based on the title of this video, you know this is not a beauty video at all. I do also want to apologize for the lighting that is probably going to be kind of wonky in this video. It is later on in the afternoon and the sun is coming in and out from the clouds, so there might be some funky stuff going on with the lighting. But I wanted to make this video because a couple of months ago I actually uploaded a video talking about what a great experience I have had using the Mercari app to sell a lot of my candles, and up until that point I had had nothing but positive interactions with all of the buyers that have purchased from me, as well as Mercari itself. And there were a few people on that particular video, which since then I have made private because I no longer want people finding that and thinking that this is a good website or a good app to use. So I have made that video private, but there were quite a number of people who said, yeah, it's all fine and well until something goes wrong when you're selling an item and Mercari does nothing to help you. And I was like, I don't understand why wouldn't they help you if there was an issue, right? Like I'd had all these nothing but positive experience. I mean, I had sent out probably 30 packages using Mercari and everything went perfectly. Nothing went wrong. Until about the middle of October, when I sold 2 different transactions, so 2 sets of 2 candles. They were back to back. I utilized the Mercari shipping, so they just sent me the shipping label. I didn't go to the post office myself and handle that stuff. I figured it was easier. They provide the tracking. I just print off the label and I package everything up and I drop it off at the post office. It worked great in the past. I never had an issue with it. So anyway, I sent off the first set of candles and per usual, just waited for the buyer to rate me. A couple days later, I sent off the other package. I was waiting to get some more bubble wrap, so that one went off a couple days later. And again, waited for the buyer to rate me. And I'm gonna try to be as clear as possible. I'm a little bit huffy, obviously, about what happened because I'm extremely frustrated, but I wanna make sure that you guys understand what happened and why I don't think it's actually a good idea to utilize this service. So I kept waiting for the buyers to rate me. Normally packages would arrive within 2 to 3 days to the buyer, and the process was always very quick. There was only a couple times where I would have to bug the buyer, hey, did you get your package? Could you please rate me so that I can get paid? And the packages were just not arriving. I kept checking the tracking, and it was just not updating. They were basically stuck in a location. And I was like, weird, I've never had this happen before. And so I contacted Mercari and I was like, hey, I don't know what the problem is, but these packages just seem to be stuck in this location. Is there anything that you can help me with to figure out what's going on? And they're like, yeah, contact the United States Postal Service. Basically, once you send the packages, we don't have anything to do with it. Now, do keep in mind that Mercari does take a 10% commission from everything that you sell. So the 2 items that I sold and multiple items prior to that, they have taken commissions from me. So I just kind of assumed that since they're taking a commission, that they can give me some basic help figuring out what's going on. Their help was contact the Postal Service. So it's, as you probably know, it's kind of tough to get someone on the phone at the Postal Service. The waits are usually 45 minutes each time that I've called, so I've tried to do everything online with them. So I wasn't able to get through for a couple days with the post office, but I figured, maybe things will update and the items will get there and it'll be fine. All of a sudden, I received cancellations cancellation notices from Mercari saying that they canceled the 2 transactions. And I was like, wait a second. I didn't cancel these transactions. And I think what happened is that the buyers canceled the transactions, which, you know, I understood at that point. They were waiting for their packages. They weren't coming. And I was trying to update the buyers. I was sending messages saying, hey, you know, I think that this is stuck in transit. I'm trying to figure it out with the post office. You know, I will let you know what I find out. Well, they canceled the transactions. And what happens when someone does that is all the information disappears for the transaction. So the tracking number, the date that you sold the item to the person's address, all of that stuff disappears, which is important when you are trying to file a claim with the United States Postal Service online to get reimbursed for the lost packages. Because Mercari shipping labels come with insurance. So should something get lost, you are supposed to be able to get reimbursed for the lost items. So I then started the process of trying to get Mercari to give me the information that I needed to file the claims with the United States Postal Service. And you guys, it was like pulling teeth. First off, there's no number that you can call. You're just supposed to use like their online help system, which is a nightmare because it takes a couple days to hear back from anyone. And when they do, they don't give you the information. Like, I had a ongoing conversation with this person at Mercari that was like it seemed like several pages long. It was just me saying, I need this information, or I need you to like activate this listing again so that I can go back in and get the information that I need to file the claim. They basically gave me the runaround saying, well, the reason the package was lost was because it wasn't dropped off at the post office. Like, they just started saying all these weird things, and I was like, what are you talking about? I dropped it off at the post office. I'm not asking you what you think went wrong. The package is clearly lost. I need the information to file a claim. So it took several back and forth conversations for them to finally give me the information. The first time they sent the tracking number, they sent the wrong tracking number. So I was trying to enter that like 8 different times into the U.S. Postal Service website to file the claim, and they kept saying that tracking number doesn't exist. So then I had to go back to Mercari, wait a couple more days to hear back, and they sent a different tracking number, which was apparently the correct one because it went through. So keep in mind, now I had 2 packages to like deal with. So the second one that was lost a couple days later, which I thought was so weird because honestly, in years and years and years of using the United States Postal Service, I have never had a package get lost. Not once. I'm 39 years old. Up until that point, I had literally never had a lost package. So it was my first time dealing with the process, you know, which it happens. It totally does. But I just thought it was so strange that like 2 packages in a row using Mercari got lost. And I was like, hey, Mercari, is there something wrong with the labels that you're sending me? Like, is this something on your end? I just find it very strange that like 2 packages got lost. Once again, they came back at me and said, well, you need to be dropping these off at the post office and not just, you know, like dropping them for your mail carrier to pick up. And I was like, I dropped them at the post office. Like, what? Why are you telling me that I'm not doing something that I'm doing? Like, you don't know. And I guess on their end, I could see maybe they're like looking for excuses or like explanations or whatever it is that they're trying to do. But they are completely like, I don't know if we were just like 2 ships passing in the night, but the communication was absolutely awful. And I I was like, can I have a phone number to talk to somebody there so that I can get some clarification, so that I can get the correct information that I need, and if I have any issues in the future, I know that I can come back and like get the help that I need. And they're like, we don't have a phone number to give to you. We deal with all customer service issues over our app. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. So, and here's the part that really upsets me, you guys. I go to file both of these claims. They are both denied by the Postal Service because they were actually delivered to the buyers. So Mercari canceled the transactions, I guess, too early, or allowed the buyers to cancel the transactions too early, while these items were in limbo in I don't know where. I can't even remember. I think one of them was in Louisiana and the other one was like somewhere in Florida. So they canceled these transactions. Meanwhile, the Postal Service still delivered these 2 packages to their respective buyers and denied my claims. So I don't get anything. The candles that I sent out still went to the people that bought them / got them for free at this point. I mean, I certainly don't expect them to go back to Mercari and say, hang on, don't cancel that transaction, or can you reactivate that so that I can pay this girl? Like, I would not expect anyone to do that because generally, I don't think most people would think to do that anyway. But it's extremely frustrating because I now have nothing to go back to Mercari with to say, hey, can you actually react it? They don't do that. They don't do it. They told me they don't do it. So basically, I get nothing from the Postal Service in terms of the insurance because the packages were delivered. And I get nothing from Mercari because they canceled the transactions and they don't reactivate them. And that's it. I just basically sent stuff for free to people, and there's no responsibility on Mercari's part, which, I mean, I guess is a risk. Anytime that you are using anything to, I guess, mail packages to people using either Mercari or Letgo or any of, you know, like those other online selling communities, I guess that's the risk that you take. However, I just really expected more from Mercari in terms of customer service. I expected them to be a little bit more timely with their responses. I expected them to be a little bit more helpful with their responses, i.e. actually giving me the information immediately so that I can file the claim as soon as possible instead of it taking multiple days, and then during that time, those packages apparently still being delivered. I just expected a lot more from them, and they completely failed. And now I see. Now I see what people were talking about in the comments when, you know, they said it's all fine and well until you have an issue, in which case you're screwed. Like, you don't get anything back from anyone. And luckily, honestly, I'm really lucky in this situation. The items that I sent out, I mean, maybe I'm out $50 or $60. In the grand scheme of things and life overall, $50 or $60 isn't a huge deal. But to me, it's honestly more like the principle where they were all too happy to take the commissions until there was an issue, in which case they were like, nope, can't help you. Or if they do help you, it takes so long to get the information that then apparently the mail gets delivered and the transaction's already canceled, so there's nothing they can do for you. I'm honestly really frustrated. Clearly, I'm a little bit like about the situation. But I did want to do an update for those of you that watched that video and perhaps started selling items on Mercari or purchasing from them. I have pulled everything. I'm going to delete the app. they can bite me. I'm not going to ever sell any. I don't care if they can give me a guarantee that every single package from here on out will get delivered and there will not be an issue. No, it's like at this point, it's the principle. I'm just not going to sell my stuff via an app or anything anymore. I'm just not. So that's frustrating because it was great. I definitely made a fair amount of money selling my things. But, you know, that like 50, 60 bucks that I'm out now, like I said, isn't a huge like monetary like amount. But it really is the principle of them just not stepping up and helping you when you have an issue. And hopefully none of you have had an issue yet. If you still feel comfortable, even after listening to this, using them to either sell or buy items, please feel free to do so. I just think, just make sure that you are taking screenshots of everything. That's, I think, probably the biggest thing. Take the screenshots of the, you know, the tracking numbers, take a screenshot of the address of the person that you're sending this stuff to, make note of the dates and everything else so that as soon as something goes wrong, you don't have to rely on Mercari to get the information that you need to file a claim and hopefully ensure that you get your packages back. Or that you get reimbursed from the Postal Service. You know, as long as you get the money that you're out, then that's fine, right? But anyway, for what it's worth, I'm actually kind of sorry that I did that video, and that's why I took it down, and there you have it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.